So in the previous videos, we have learned the concept of distance and displacement. So recall, distance has only magnitude, whereas displacement has both magnitude and direction. For example, recall we'd say distance between A and B is 10 meters, but displacement between A and B is 10 meters along AB. So whenever we talk about distance, it is only magnitude, but displacement is both magnitude and direction. So let's explore this concept in more detail. So what we're going to learn over here is physical quantities. So see guys, what exactly are physical quantities? Those quantities which can be measured are known as physical quantities. I repeat, what are physical quantities? Those quantities which can be measured are physical quantities. For example, can we measure distance between two places? Yes. So it is a physical quantity. Can we measure displacement? Yes. Again a physical quantity. Can we measure speed? Yes. Physical quantity. Can we measure time? Yes. Physical quantity. Can we measure temperature? Yes. Physical quantity. Can we measure force? Yes, again a physical quantity. So all those quantities which can be measured are known as physical quantities. So can you think of things which are not physical quantities, that is which cannot be measured? So the answer is emotions. Emotions cannot be measured. For example, let's say one day you're really happy. So how happy are you? Is there any unit or number you can express? No. Similarly, some days you're sad. How sad are you? You cannot express. Let's say you love someone. How much do you love that person? Again, there are no units. If you hate a person, how much do you hate a person? Again, no units. So emotions are not physical quantities. Is this clear? So what are physical quantities? Those which can be measured. Now, physical quantities are divided into two groups, scalar quantities and vector quantities. So I'll write it over here. So see guys, what are scalars and what are vectors? We'll first talk about scalars. Those physical quantities which require only magnitude are known as scalars. So I can say over here, scalar quantities means only magnitude. That is, no direction requires. So scalar quantities are those quantities which require only magnitude. So let's have a look at some examples. For example, distance, only magnitude. Then speed, again, only magnitude. Time, again magnitude. Temperature, let's say your body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. There's no direction, right? So temperature, again a scalar quantity. Then your mass, again a scalar quantity. So those quantities, or we can say specifically those physical quantities which require only magnitude are known as scalar quantities. So if this is only magnitude, what are vectors? Magnitude and direction both. So vector quantity means magnitude plus direction. So those quantities which require both magnitude and direction are known as vector quantities. So what did we just learn which requires magnitude and direction? Very good, displacement. So displacement is an example of a vector quantity. So can you think of any other quantities which requires both force and direction? Force. See guys, another example is force. Whenever we talk about force, we have to specify the direction. Why? Let's say a box is placed over here. If you apply a force of 10 newtons on this box, where will this box move? It depends on the direction of a force, right? If you apply a force over here, the box moves here. If you apply a force here, it moves over here. So whenever we talk about force, we have to specify the direction. Is this clear? So force is again a vector quantity. Similarly, we're going to learn velocity and acceleration. So these are two things which we haven't learned so far, which we'll shortly learn. So these are also examples of vector quantities. So let me do a quick recap. What are physical quantities? Those quantities which can be measured are known as physical quantities. They are divided into two types, scalars and vectors. Those physical quantities which require only magnitude are known as scalars. For example, distance, speed, time, temperature, mass. They require only magnitude. Imagine temperature 37 degrees Celsius. Do I have to specify north, south, east, west? No. So only magnitude. Vectors on the other hand are those physical quantities which require both magnitude and direction. For example, displacement, force, velocity, acceleration. So we'll shortly learn about these two things. So this over here is the concept of physical quantities, scalars and vectors.